Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Energy Web, aka EWT. So with that being said, I hope that you're all having a beautiful day or a beautiful night, wherever you guys are out there in the world. So it's actually been a very long time since I've made a video on Energy Web, and the reason behind that is just because, well, I haven't really made a video on it in a while. So as we really look at Energy Web and what's been happening recently, it definitely does call for an update. And am I still as bullish as I was before on Energy Web? 100%. If in all actuality, I'm more bullish now than ever before around Energy Web. Every single video that I've ever made in terms of EWT, I've always said that this is a long-term bet. Just like QNT or even XRP and projects similar to it, these projects are becoming a very big deal. I know that in the short term, yeah, they might not be massive price, action players, but they are becoming enormous pieces for the Web3 future, especially even around some of the largest names in the space, like, for example, Bitcoin. It's the #1 project. Everyone knows about Bitcoin. And now you have this announcement with Energy Web and PayPal. I said massive move for EWT, and here we're thrilled to announce that Energy Web and Green Proofs for Bitcoin, GP4 Bitcoin, are collaborating with PayPal on the Green Mining Initiative, an innovative approach to support Bitcoin's decarbonization by financially rewarding miners who use clean energy. Now, before I even continue on with the announcement with PayPal, I want to break down a few things. Specifically, I want to talk about GP4 Bitcoin. So for an example, if you go over to Green Proofs for Bitcoin, their website, it's gp4btc.org. This is their about section, why we exist. Bitcoin consumes a lot of electricity. The only pragmatic way to mitigate Bitcoin's climate impact is to make the Bitcoin mining industry an active partner in global decarbonization. This means, and let me zoom in just so that you guys can actually see this, 1, locating mining facilities in places with abundant clean energy, using energy procurement tools to increase development and utilization of clean generation resources, discontinuing fossil fuel use, especially reviving and or delaying retirement of fossil fuel facilities, supporting the grid with demand flexibility that facilitates the integration of more renewables. If we scroll down, we can see the good news and also the bad news, and you can look more into this if you want to, but ultimately this is the first of its kind initiative to showcase Bitcoin miners taking action towards these goals. Now you might be saying, well, has this really been a big deal so far? Yes, it has been, and it's actually been very successful, which we will talk about. But first, I want to also show you guys their official homepage as well. And we have clean energy is a competitive advantage. And this is helping those Bitcoin miners, right? And we have trusted by mining companies worldwide. And these are some of the biggest ones out there on the list already. Now, fun fact, Griffin Digital Mining is a company that actually showed us and showcased how successful this is, which we will talk about. And the best part about this is that it's not only for miners, it's also for institutions. GP4 Bitcoin is a one-stop shop for exchanges, financial institutions, and other crypto users to validate Bitcoin miners' sustainability credentials for more informed business decisions. And, for the longest time, like, the energy usage behind Bitcoin has always been a big negative thing. And what's funny about this? It's just recently Bitcoin maxis started to notice this. Now, they've been starting to push projects like Solar X Coin, but these projects are not even close to what Energy Web has, really kind of achieved. And I even, commented on this 3 days ago. I said, must not know what Energy Web token has been doing for years, especially even with Ripple and XRP as well. And yes, if you guys did miss it, we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But XRP definitely has a spot in the picture as well. But over here we have from Dennis Porter, we have breaking. Auditor finds that emissions from Bitcoin miner Griffin Mining is 100% renewable. Griffin currently manages nearly 1 million terahash of Bitcoin mining. And we can see their full breakdown here. And how are they doing this? Well, we already know. It's through GP4 Bitcoin. And even over here, we have thrilled to witness Energy Web and also, Energy Web X and Energy Web technology enable this securely and in a decentralized, trustworthy manner. miners, companies, enterprises, and institutions are all invited to explore our green proofs for Bitcoin solutions. So this is already proven to be working around Bitcoin and really kind of making it green, which is a big deal because we know for the longest time it has been one of the biggest criticisms around Bitcoin, specifically even in terms of mining. Now, outside of this, what about XRP, right? Well, back in September of 2020, Energy Web is starting with Ripple in its bid to make crypto provably green. And this is with the XRP Foundation as well to make sure that it is carbon neutral. And this is also with the Cryptoeconomic Accord, Make Crypto Green. And if we scroll down, we can see the big names tied to this. And then they do break down what this is. I've already broken it down in previous videos. If you guys want to go check those out, you guys are more than welcome to. There's already been 250 supporters of this, and you can see all of the big names like Consensus on here, for an example. There's so many. A lot of those crypto mining companies. You have the GBBC, KPMG. It's insane. Like the list goes on and on and on and on. And this is why I say, like, you know, Energy Web is just not about like Energy Web. It's about making sure that Web3 and crypto itself is fully green. And you could see some of their solutions over here: green Bitcoin hash rate, green Ethereum, crypto energy and carbon accounting, good practices, proof of green ESG reporting, crypto energy and carbon offset procurement, and good practices as well. And, you know, this is just another big thing in the step to make sure that crypto cannot be targeted by these agencies out there that are starting to bring up the idea like, oh, Bitcoin's not green, you know, crypto's not green. We need to make sure that it's sustainable. So this is just something that is a big deal to me, especially when we look at Energy Web. Now, let's go back to the original announcement with PayPal and GP4 Bitcoin and really kind of break this down. So the overall article here was very lengthy, so I utilized ChatGPT to really kind of summarize this. And we have the discussion around blockchain technology often centers on its sustainability, particularly regarding the energy consumption of proof of work networks like Bitcoin, which can produce significant carbon emissions. Despite the emergence of new consensus mechanisms, Bitcoin's POW model is likely to persist. PayPal's blockchain research group, in collaboration with Energy Web and DMG Blockchain Solutions, Inc., proposes using cryptoeconomic incentives to encourage Bitcoin miners to adopt sustainable energy sources. The research outlines a system where miners using low carbon energy receive rewards and are prioritized for on-chain transactions, thus promoting environmentally friendly mining practices. By leveraging cryptoeconomics, which drive miners to act in ways that benefit the network, PayPal's initiative aims to influence behavior towards sustainability within the blockchain community. They advocate for the application of these incentives to existing robust networks like Bitcoin to support a more sustainable future for the industry. And this is all with PayPal, Energy Web, and also DMG Blockchain Solutions. Now, what's crazy about this is when you look at Energy Web, this thing still has, we'll go off of even the fully diluted market cap for this, $160 million market cap. That's it. $160 million in market cap. This is one of the most overlooked projects out there. And even going off of just like the market cap alone, it's like almost $70 million. This thing, in my opinion, is a major gem for the long-term path ahead, because we know that sustainability is only going to become a much larger topic, right? And with mandates around sustainability, especially even crypto miners being targeted, I do think that this is going to be one of those big opportunities. And I do think that Energy Web token is definitely up there in the list of, like, you know, the most prominent utility projects that will be a huge hit once utility matters. But also, even outside of that, in the short term, I also do think that Energy Web token is going to be a big project. And by the way, if you're looking at exchanges, here you guys have some of the exchanges that it is listed on. I know that it just recently got listed on MEXC as well, for those out there that utilize MEXC. Now, outside of this, let's talk about a few other things as well behind Energy Web. So going back to October of 2022, I put out a post and I was actually quoting an individual. His name is Ardian on X. I said, don't sleep on Energy Web token. This is one of my key long-term holds next to QNT, because again, the long-term future ahead is clear, right? Crypto is the future. We know it is. And a lot of these projects like Energy Web token or QNT that are vital to this industry, they will be huge winners. Now, over here, we have the European Commission just published Digitalizing the Energy System EU Action Plan draft document. The Commission acknowledges digitalization through blockchain as a cornerstone for the electrification and decarbonization of the EU. And yes, Energy Web is mentioned within this. But you know what's funny about this? If you go back to October 5th, 2022, we have Energy Web joins Surface to lay the groundwork for the deployment of European digital passport products. This was back in 2022, and most people are not even aware of the significant connections that Energy Web has with these massive players out there, specifically even government entities like the European Commission, or even in this case, Surface with European digital passport products. This is a big deal. And when we look at some of the projects around the space, some of them where, like, for example, Energy Web right now, and in the last roughly year, right? This is what the price action looks like on Energy Web token in the last year. This is not exciting. Even if we go all the way back to like roughly 2022, I mean, Energy Web token has barely done nothing, right? And when we think about that, these are the types of projects that you want to look at, and you want to do a little bit of research behind. When we look at the connections that Energy Web token has, I love the fact that a lot of people are avoiding this, because the significant connections, the information behind Energy Web, all of the major moves that are still being made from the Energy Web team, in my opinion, only makes Energy Web token more and more bullish, but also gives me more and more confidence behind it as well. This is also another recent announcement. Energy Web with RMI, Rocky Mountain Institute, which, by the way, they are one of the companies that are actually working on the Crypto Climate Accord as well. And this is also with Maersk. They are coming together and collaborating on advancing its pilot study to connect shipping cargo owners with zero emissions as well. Now, again, this was a very long article. So, of course, I went over to ChatGPT to summarize this. And we have RMI and the Maersk McKinney Mahler Center, I hope that I'm saying that name correctly, for zero carbon shipping are partnering with the Zero Emissions Maritime Buyers Alliance, and also Hapag Lloyd to pilot a maritime book and claim system. This system aims to track and reduce greenhouse gas emissions from ocean transport, addressing the sector's significant contribution to global emissions. Zema's inaugural tender highlights demand for zero emission shipping services, but challenges remain in accessing low emissions fuels at scale. The maritime book and claim system will provide transparency and credibility by linking demand for low emission fuels with a transparent chain of custody model. Developed in collaboration with the Energy Web Foundation, the system is being tested by early adopters across shipping segments and is expected to go live in the fall of this year. This is just another significant mention of how big Energy Web is becoming. I mean, it seriously is something very special to watch, and most people just are not aware of how big of a name Energy Web has become. Again, I've been seeing a lot of FUD and a lot of negativity about Energy Web token simply because of the price action. And although, yes, we're here to make money, I'm also setting aside, bags that I just feel confident holding for the long term, and I just don't care to take profits from them. And I'm fine with them going to zero if they do, but I do think that they will go significantly higher. And this is just one of those projects. Now, do I think that in the short term it's also going to be very successful? 100%. I do think that this does have tremendous potential in it to do a 10x, 20x, 30x, 40x, you name it, in the short term. But in the long term, I see this as becoming a very significant piece for the entire crypto industry, and it already has started to become that. Then also, last but not least, we're thrilled to announce that our Web3 as a service solution for enterprises is now live on the X Energy Web. This is a public substrate-based blockchain that is purpose-built to run worker node networks in support of enterprise energy sector applications. You probably already know about X Energy Web if you've been following it for a while, but this is all powered by Energy Web token and secured by Polkadot. So this is very exciting, and it's just another staple piece in the fact that Energy Web is collaborating with the entire space. You have Polkadot, you have the XRP Ledger, you have Bitcoin. And then when you actually go back to the Crypto Climate Accord and you look at those supporters, right? There is so many major projects on here. Outside of just Web 2 brands, there's also Web 3 players here as well. Like Polygon, for an example. Casper Labs. I'm pretty sure like there's Near on here. I'm pretty sure Hedera's on here as well. But there's so many big players on here. And it's just really bringing in Web 2 and Web 3 to address these problems and really kind of, hint at the fact that like, hey, although this is a big, concern, we're already solving it. And they're already working with so many big players in this space and outside of this space. And it just shows you that, Energy Web, it's not just about Energy Web token. It's about the entire ecosystem, the entire, sector, right? So as we think about that and as we look at that, like imagine how big Energy Web token will be in the future, considering the fact that it is basically working with the entire industry and anyone that wants to work with, the Crypto Climate Accord or just work with Energy Web themselves, they're willing to do that. And it just shows you how big of a piece this is. That's also the number one reason why I invest into a lot of projects in this space, like the Graph, for an example. It's because I see them as significant pillars in the Web3 world. Like without these projects, without these names, it would look extremely different. And this is why I invest into these legitimate projects that are becoming a big piece of the Web3 future. And I do think that Energy Web token is definitely up there. So if you guys do want to go check it out, you guys are more than welcome to. But with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on because I'm more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.